And welcome to Dev Pirates Radio, where we challenge us all to push our limits and learn new things. Follow us as we create a game from start to finish, detailing how we accomplish each distinct development task. Contact us at contact@devpirates.com. I'm Matt, and with me as always is Pete.
Hi.
And last time on that channel,
on Dev Pirate Z.
Goku was training again for the whole episode.
Go on.
All right, so your task was to create a particle effect when the character or when an enemy dies. My task was to create some level props.
Right.
And so who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Mine's real quick. So it wasn't just the particle effects. You wanted also the smoke to be a separate actor.
Right. I wanted to kind of like the whole death poof thing to be its own separate thing.
Okay. Well,
just in case we randomly wanted to just spawn it up in some random place also.
Sure. Let me share my screen. Okay. So the way that I did that is over here I was spawning just a flip book, which was the poof, and then killing it. But now when the character dies, what happens is this just says, hey, is it dead? Yes, dead. Death complete. Unpossessed, so the character stops moving around. Set the flip book to the dead flip book. And here's where the difference comes in. After we destroy the sphere, which is what handles the collision, you spawn a separate actor called a poof actor. And that's what I called the smoke animation, was poof. So what you do here is you grab the larvic flip book, which is the visible part of the character, get the location, make a transform out of it. I basically did that by taking the location and adding 0 rotation and doubling the scale. So the poof's a little bit bigger. And then spawning it.
Cool.
And then this is the poof actor. It's just an actor with this poof animation. And then we have this event graph. So when it's done playing, you destroy it. You destroy the poof part. The actor stays until it eventually gets destroyed. But this is, so first we take the flip book, set it to not loop, and then we attach an emitter. Now the emitter is where we get the particle effects. Let me grab that real quick. Effects, sparks. Okay, so this is the emitter. I've got this on looping. Really all I did was I tossed a shader onto the emitter and set the spark material to that. And then added a point attractor, which is where all the sparks are going to. So that when we play the game and this character dies, see how the sparks fly up into space like that.
Cool.
I wasn't sure that's what we wanted to do, but that's how it works. And the smoke was a separate actor, so we can just spawn that at any time. Sweet.
Looks good to me.
Cool. Your turn.
All right, so, well, I guess first, I drew it. That's what I do.
That's what you do.
And then, just share the entire screen. I modeled it. So I did each of these guys. In this case, I modeled them first, and then I did the textures. You'll see the textures on the side over here. I use the same texture for the bush and the tree. Okay. One thing that I learned that you have to do is you have to use, when you're using a different UV, I have the light mass. And so what happens with the light mass is they all have to be by themselves. You can't have overlapping things, but I wanted to repeat this texture over all these things because they were the same. So I had to create a different UV between the two. So you notice here, oh, they all have the same texture. But here, they're all have their own space and not overlapping. And so that's so that we can let Unreal do its shading effects. So this is the same thing, or not overlapping. And it doesn't really matter the sizes when you're not overlapping. As far as Unreal is concerned, they just don't. It just can't be overlapping because it does its own scale on the shading textures. Like that's configured through Unreal Engine. So it doesn't really matter what size your texture is as long as these guys aren't overlapping. But I like to keep them still nice and tight into a square as much as possible. Like a toiga.
Toy.
And then I did the same conversion thing. First, set it to metric. And because I'm all these with each whole Blender unit being a 32 by 32, I set the scale to 0.5.
Okay.
And then just do the same export, FBX, selected item, and then choose whichever tile. I don't remember which one I'm on right now. I'll cancel that. I was on the bush, so that's the right one. The other thing you want to do is you want to make sure you move these to origin. There are some weird things that happen if you don't. Not always, but usually. So it's just good practice to move them to origin.
Okay.
Means to 0, 0, 0. It'll also, if you move into origin, you'll notice if you have things messed up, like if you had its center thing in a place you weren't expecting it to be.
Okay.
But if you follow these things, and also put the center, you'll notice the center's at the bottom of the bush. And I will show you why Blender likes that.
Does Unreal like that?
Why Unreal likes that.
Yeah.
All right. So, and then in Unreal, sorry. You just go to wherever you're going to importing it. I've been importing them under Kingdoms and Niceland. And then just right click to import, and then you just grab the files that you want to import. Easy peasy. But so this is the nice thing that I was going to show you why Unreal Engine likes the origin being at the bottom. So I can place, it likes to place this, it likes to do auto placing for you. So if I put it on the roof, it's going to put the origin as close as it can to that roof. And as close as it can to this dirt or on top of this bush. You want to do stacking. So basically, it likes the origin in the place that you're expecting it to get the closest to.
Cool.
So I can put this bush anywhere, and then yay, it's right there. And then I don't have to worry about it being on the ground because it's Unreal is pretty nice about putting it on the ground if you follow this that way. Notice it's right there on the ground.
Nice.
So I did some tests to show the variety of it. So these guys, notice it's the same fence object. I just rotate them, and they seem to fit around nicely.
Is it like a nice even spacing? So you can say like 200 units over per.
They are 2 tiles wide, and tiles in our case is the 32 by 32.
Oh, cool.
So, and you notice these bushes are 1 tile wide, so 32 by 32. So they fit nicely in front of these guys.
Nice. Yeah, I think it's important to keep everything in nice units like that.
Well, I think it goes for the aesthetic of the game.
What also makes every other thing easier, like keeping scale is easy because you're like, well, this bush should be about half the height of Savron, which is 32.
Right.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
And then the tree is well, the base of the tree is 32 by 32. But if we look down on top of the tree, you notice it's a lot wider. I didn't worry about that because it's a tree.
That makes sense. I really like the way these are looking too. They look nice.
I hope that they look nice during the gameplay, where it's got the nice consistent aesthetic and the like the classic-ish look. But I want the 3D updatey looks to it too. So it's kind of like a classic pixel RD textures, but in 3D. So you get like a, I don't know. This is what I imagined the game to look like.
Yeah, I like it.
It looks like the more stuff we add to it, the more it looks like it's coming together.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's it. So
cool.
Our next task.
Go on.
You're supposed to do Larvic AI. So you get the Larvic walking around like an idiot, random directions.
Right, instead of chasing the player. Gotcha.
Which, ironically, is more difficult to get him to walk around stupider.
So sad, isn't it?
Oh, first world problems.
Yep.
I am going to design the town, which will also let us know how many and what kind of blocks we're going to need for each of the town buildings. So right now we have just this one building, which looks like it could just be someone's house, but we're going to be adding in an inn, a shop, a blacksmith, a bunch of other things. So we're going to have to do a lot more varieties of the building tiles. And so I guess we talk about our task lists then.
Cool.
So general. All right, so ride, I'm done with zone 3 completely.
Nice.
So all I have to do is work on the enemies. I'm working on the first one, but I need to finish the enemies for zone 4, and then all the stuff for all the levels, and then I'll be done with that game.
Nice.
Well, there's a few extra cleanup things I'm gonna have to do, but the biggest things are going to be the levels. All right. It looks like for Endangered Kingdoms, we have a few things to write up for the blog.
Right.
And by that, I mean it can either be a write-up or a video tutorial.
Yes, I've got quite a bit to do.
Because some things are better in a video tutorial.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're recording this episode. I need to edit it. What those left to do. All right, and then I think that's it for all of our tasks.
Cool.
Well, we still need to do a task list for Endangered Kingdoms. We've been working on it a little bit, but we need to figure out a way to at least get all the tasks needed until the prototype is done. And that's it. So we're done.
Cool. All right. Stop the broadcast.